Shalom. Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom, Israel. Giving our praise to the Most High, the Son Yahushua. Hey, coming back to you on a Friday night feast. And I asked that I know y'all what's the word I'm looking for? I asked that y'all, forgive us for the time that it took for us to come to class, But hey, the word, whatever time it come out, hey, just know it's gonna come out, man. On the Most High God's time, maybe. But today's title will be a leader, not a follower. Be a leader and not a follower. Because, I know a lot of people, when they hear being a leader, they think about leadership as far as like rankings and stuff. But no, like even with soldiers and sisters that's in here, like you got to be a leader and not a follower. Because, a whole lot of our people, they want to be, followers of this world, but it ain't going to get them nowhere but kill. Hey, because we got instances where there's brothers and sisters that done lost their lives and all type of things, man, because they wanted to do some type of evil, man, instead of doing, what's right by the Most High God and Son Yahushua. But we're gonna go ahead and jump straight into this thing. Let's get 1 Timothy chapter 4, verse 12.
The book of 1 Timothy, chapter 4, and verse 12. Let no man despise thy youth.
Read that again.
Let no man despise thy youth.
So this goes even into the aspect of like, say if you 20 years old, 21 years old, or whatever the case may be, and you know about this Bible because you keep the commandments, versus a brother that's or a sister that's 50 years old, 60 years old, they be like, hey, you can't tell me nothing. But hey, when it comes down to this truth, hey, don't let them despise your youth, man. Because just because you're young and you don't have as much wisdom of this world versus having wisdom of this Bible, that don't mean nothing. Because the wisdom of this Bible means everything, man. But go ahead.
But be thou an example.
Be what?
But be thou an example.
Because one thing we always bring out that our elders failed us, man. Because they wasn't teaching us these things. We were still doing the same exact things that they was doing when they was growing up. But hey, after a while, the Most High God, he said, man, I'm getting fed up with this. I'm gonna start waking up my people. That's why he said that, hey, my young people, roughly paraphrasing, they're gonna be prophesying, and then the elders are gonna be dreaming dreams, man. But that's elders of Israel, though, of in this truth. But come on, keep reading.
But be thou an example.
But be what?
But be thou an example.
Read on.
Of the believers in word, in conversation.
So it said, hey, in word and in the conversation. So when it comes down to the Most High God's word and in your conversation, don't let filthy communication come at your mouth. Because they talking about hey, the next chick they finna hit, or the next blunt they finna smoke, or the next beer they finna drink until they get drunk. Meanwhile, hey, we discussing these scriptures, man. Hey, we ain't talking about eating pork and doing all these things, man. But go ahead.
In word, in conversation, in charity.
In what?
In charity.
So the charity, that goes into love, or it goes into the things that you do in this truth. Whether it be sweeping the floor, mopping the floor, buying tissue and paper towels, or whatever the case may be. But go ahead.
In spirit.
Hey, in spirit, we know what the spirit is according to John 6:63. But go ahead.
In faith.
Hey, Hebrews 11:1, because we have many brothers and sisters that had top-notch faith, man. But go ahead.
In purity.
In what?
In purity.
So don't let it be filthy or in wickedness or in evil, but let it be in purity. But go ahead.
Till I come. Give attendance to reading.
Do what?
Give attendance to reading.
So that's another precept for Revelations 1 and 3. Give attendance to reading. Because anytime you're going through something, hey, read. Anytime you're not going through something, read. Hey, if you got some type of free time, read. Because these are all things that makes a great leader. They start reading and they start taking heed to these commandments and so on and so forth. But go ahead.
To exhortation. To doctrine.
To what?
To doctrine.
Hey, any brother or sister that's in the group chat, what is doctrine according to the Bible? Well, next precept we're gonna get is Psalms 25:1.
The book of Psalms, chapter 25 and verse 1. Unto thee, O Lord, do I lift up my soul.
So even with David, he was a great leader. Yeah, he went out from time to time, but hey, he was still a great leader because the Most High God, he always found favor with David. And he said, unto thee, O Lord, do I lift my soul. So, David giving all praise to the Most High God, man. Whatever the Most High God wanted to do, best believe David gonna do it. But go ahead.
Verse 2. Oh my God, I trust in thee.
I do what?
I trust in thee.
See, that's another thing that a great leader would do. And not a follower. They'll trust in the Most High God. Because it's a thin line between like a follower doing righteousness versus a follower that's doing wickedness. Yes, we are followers of Christ, but we ain't finna follow a multitude to do evil, which we're gonna touch on later on. But go ahead.
Let me not be ashamed.
Let me not what?
Let me not be ashamed.
Because hey, you can't be once you have that leadership status, whether it be like some type of ranking, if you're a captain, an officer, deacon, bishop, and so on and so forth, or if you're just a soldier, man. Hey, you can't be ashamed of this thing, man, because was Christ ashamed? He was the best example that we had out here, man. And we know he was a king, but yet he was the most weakest, the most humblest, the most wisest, and so on and so forth, man. But go ahead.
Let not my enemies triumph over me.
So it said, let not my enemy triumph over me, because that's another thing. Our people always follow after what our enemies do. They always concerned about what Esau doing and the rest of these nations are doing. But what about the Most High God? The Most High God wants you to keep his commandments. Like he wants you to, love your brother as you love yourself. And, all these things, man. So let's try to come back to him and be leaders. But next precept we're going to get is Joshua 1 and 8.
The book of Joshua, chapter 1 and verse 8. This book of the law shall not depart out of thy mouth.
So, hey, again, going back into the title of the class. Hey, if you want to be a good leader, it said the book of this book of the law shall not depart out of thy mouth. So in every little thing that you do, you always gonna sit there and have this book on your mind. But go ahead.
But thou shalt meditate therein day and night.
Now, whenever I feel like
day and night.
Just on certain days.
Day and night.
It said day and night. So every single day, hey, at least read something. At least, keep the commandments to the best of your ability. If you fall, that's all right. Rise back up. We're gonna stay down, and it's gonna be a mischief. But go ahead.
That thou mayest observe to do according to all that is written therein.
So every single thing that's going on with this Bible, hey, we gotta make sure that we do it. But go ahead.
For then thou shalt make thy way prosperous.
Shall make thy way what?
Prosperous.
So, hey, a great leader, hey, he gonna be prosperous, man. But go ahead.
And then thou shalt have good success.
Oh, bad success.
Good success.
So, hey, it's just all back over reserves. What's the word I'm looking for? Reverts back to the same thing. Going to keeping these commandments. But the next precept we're gonna get is Psalms 1 and verse 1. It's a precept you can precept with Joshua 1 and 8.
So I read this mud every month. In the exact same point. You reading this mud here. The book of Psalms, chapter 1 and verse 1. Blessed is the man that walketh not in the counsel of the ungodly.
Read that one more time, right?
Blessed is the man that walketh not in the counsel of the ungodly.
Because if you walking in the counsel of the ungodly, what good can you get out of that? Because you say, hey, if you meditate on these laws, statutes, and commandments, you're gonna have good success. You're gonna be prosperous. But hey, if you over here listening to your grandma, your papa, uncles and aunties that's like up in age, and they tell you, hey, you can eat that pork. Hey, you can have a woman without married and stuff, sleeping with her. Hey, you can smoke this blunt. Hey, you can do all these things. But hey, in the end, hey, you're gonna be in the lake of fire right along with them because you want to, take heed to that counsel, man, instead of the righteous counsel. But go ahead.
Nor standeth in the way of sinners.
Or what?
Of sinners.
Nor
Nor sitteth in the seat of the scornful.
Uh-huh.
But His delight is in the law of the Lord.
What?
But his delight is in the law of the Lord.
So his main focus is always going to be on his law. Go ahead.
And in his law doth he meditate day and night.
They're saying the same exact thing that Joshua 1:8 was saying. But read verse 3.
Verse 3. And he shall be like a tree planted by the rivers of water.
Because we are seeing trees, like in a physical aspect, trees that's been planted by rivers of water. Hey, they must be full of age, man. Hey, they be, like, you know, they're talking about like a tree of wisdom or whatever the case may be, man. But go ahead.
That bringeth forth his fruit in his season.
Hey, they be having, you know, them big luxuries. I think that's the word you're looking for. Apples and oranges, man, and lemons on there, man. But go ahead.
His leaf also shall not wither.
Shall not wither.
Shall not wither.
So, hey, that leaf on that tree, it's not gonna wither, man. Hey, it's gonna stay green and plump, man. But go ahead.
And whatsoever he doeth shall prosper.
Shall what?
Shall prosper.
Read verse 4.
Verse 4. The ungodly are not so.
What?
The ungodly are not so.
We don't.
But are like the chaff which the wind driveth away.
So, hey, you over here trying to be a follower and do like evil, whatever the case may be. Hey, you gonna be blown in the wind. We done seen like some dead trees, like that Charlie Brown tree. When they were that week of Christmas, man. And you wonder why the tree was looking like the way it was looking. Because you try to celebrate Christmas, man. But next precept we're gonna get is Exodus 23:2.
The book of Exodus, chapter 23, and verse 2. Thou shalt not follow a multitude to do evil.
So just like how I was bringing out in the beginning of the class, hey, don't follow a multitude to do evil, man. But go ahead.
Neither shalt thou speak. Neither shalt thou speak in a cause to decline after many, to rest just
To do what?
To rest judgment.
Because you got to think about it, even like something as small as like Bloods and Crips. All them dudes, because that's basically what this precept is going into. Like all the brothers, they follow a multitude to do evil, and then next thing we know, it's a drive-by that happened. And then a majority of them, they drop dead. Hey, because hey, we know, I know me or Don T, we all know about a game that was called Jerubbaal. Almost all of them niggas dead. Because you know, hey, they was following the multitude to do evil. Hey, you got probably like a couple of them that's in jail, but for the most part, all of them dead, man. Because they were trying to do kick those, they were trying to judge. That's why they call themselves judge team, man. But hey, we grew up with these people, because most of our guy, he ain't playing, man. He'll take, hey, if you a baby, he'll take you, man. If you playing with him. Hey, or if your mom or your daddy's playing with him. Hey, if you up in age, yeah, he'll take you too, man. So, you know, you always got to revert back to the law, statutes, and commandments, man. But go ahead.
That Joshua 24, real quick. But Joshua made a valid point, man. And this is what those brothers chose, man. These brothers be choosing evil and stuff like that, man. Joshua chapter 1, verse 24. I mean 24, verse 15, real quick.
The book of Joshua, chapter 24, verse 15. And if it seem evil unto you to serve the Lord, choose you this day whom you will serve.
And these brothers chose evil. Some brothers choose wickedness, some brothers choose righteousness. But then you got those brothers that want to play in between both. You know what I'm saying? You can't play in between both every single time, man. Because guess what? That's like when Revelation 3 say, it say, man, the Lord gonna spew you out his mouth. So you gotta either choose, and that's literally going into the 2/3 right there. The 1/3 and the 2/3 club. You got people that want to be fully in this truth. You got people that want to be halfway in the truth. And you got people that don't even want to be in the truth at all. Read on.
Whether the gods which your fathers served that were on the other side of the flood, or the God of the Amorites, in whose land ye dwell. But as for me and my house, we will serve the Lord.
And that's playing upon covenant. He said the other side of the flood is literally telling you it's one. We heard the scripture say all the time, one straight and narrow path. You got fire on one side, you got water on the other side. And then guess what? You got the guys of the Amorites, these were nothing but idols. These was idols, man. So you want to follow out a piece of plastic or a piece of gold instead of worshiping the Most High? He said, but as for me and my household, we're going to serve the Lord. So that's what we're going to do, man. Put this shit on there.
Praise you. And basically what Joshua said, he said, hey, y'all can go and follow them. But as for me and my house, we're going to be leaders of the Lord. We're going to be followers of the Most High God, man. Because, hey, we know what's going to happen if we continue, if we try to do these things that y'all doing, man. It ain't going to be well with you. But the next precept we're going to get is James 4:4.
You want to pick right on it? It's 23. And 3. I know you said read on.
Nah, he ain't got to. James 4:4.
The book of James, chapter 4 and verse 4. Ye adulterers and adulterers, know ye not that the friendship of the world is enmity with God?
Is what?
Is enmity with God.
So even going back to like how we just talked about it. Like, hey, adulterers and adulteries, know you not that, hey, if y'all have a friendship with this world, y'all are enemy to the Most High God. And that's just even on the common sense level. Why would you try to be an enemy of the Most High God when He created everything? Versus trying to, have a respected person, trying to, love your mama more than you love the Most High God, or love your daddy or family in general. Hey, man, Most High God, He'll take them and take you, man, because you want to play with Him. So, try to be that leader, man. Hey, forget this world, because what does this world have to offer us? It don't have nothing to offer us, man. We all done being in it. I have 20 or 19 years of wickedness. I mean, you got like 18, 19, 20. Yeah,
Shit about the same. 19.
so it's like, and we all done seen stuff, like just like how we was bringing out. We done seen, brothers and sisters that we went to school with drop dead. The Most High God, He found favor in us, man, because He seen that, hey, y'all can be leaders, of Israel, man, when that time comes. Like even as us being soldiers right now, or like even like with captains, we know there was gang babies and pimps and hustlers and all that. Some of them might have been murders, but whatever the case may be, the Most High God, He's seen something different in you. So don't try to, set yourself at a lower standard. Set yourself at a higher standard, man, because it's for the Most High God. But go ahead.
Whatsoever therefore will be a friend, whosoever therefore will be a friend of the world is the enemy of God.
Is the what?
Is the enemy of God.
So basically just reiterated this. But next precept we're gonna get is 1 John 2:15.
The book of 1 John, chapter 2, and verse 15. Love not the world.
Do what?
Love not the world.
Hey, love not the world. Don't follow after this world. Go ahead.
Neither the things that are in the world.
Uh-huh.
If any man love the world, the love of the Father is not in him.
The what?
The love of the Father is not in him.
You don't love the Most High God like you say you do. But go ahead.
For all that is in the world, the lust of the flesh.
Because that's really what a follower is, man. Like they just following after that flesh, man, or following after that lust. But go ahead.
In the lust of the eye, in the pride of life, it's not of the Father, but is of the world.
Read on.
And the world passeth away.
The what?
And the world passeth away.
Because this present world, Esau's kingdom or whatever the case may be, hey, this mud's gonna pass away. But go ahead.
In the lust thereof.
Hey, in the dust. But go ahead.
But he that doeth the will of God abideth forever.
For how long?
Forever.
So that's going into our kingdom, knowing that we got next. But hey, Lord's will, we make it into the kingdom because hey, we ain't gonna have to worry about like all the stuff that's going on in this world, man. Pedophilia at an all-time high, homosexuality at an all-time high, rape is gonna be at an all-time high. It already is, man. But they passing all these laws and stuff, so it's just gonna wax worse and worse. I mean, worse and worse. That's why I said evils has multiplied in the earth, man. But go ahead. What is it?
Verse 18.
Yeah, go ahead.
The book of 1 John, chapter 2, verse 18. Little children.
Who?
Little children.
12 tribes of the children of Israel. Go ahead.
It is the last time.
It is what?
It is the last time.
So, throughout this whole Bible, it's always giving warning. Hey, that this is the last time, but go ahead.
And as ye have heard that Antichrist shall come, even now there are many Antichrists.
There are what?
There are many Antichrists.
Hey, all these people, just because, they had that mindset, well, he's doing evil, so I'm going to do evil too. And now they all Antichrist, man. And they all finna die, but go ahead.
Whereby we know that it is the last time.
It is the what?
It is the last time.
We don't.
They went out from us, but they were not of us.
So because it's a different aspect, you can look at it. You can look at like brothers and sisters that was in this truth that's no longer in the truth, or you can look at it like how all Israel ain't Israel. But go ahead.
For if they had been of us, they would no doubt have continued with us.
Because that's true. Go ahead.
But they went out, that they might be made manifest that they were not of that they were not all of us.
So more of the story, they wasn't of us, man. At one point in time, they was walking with us, but then they went on here and went that path, man, trying to follow a multitude to do evil. Meanwhile, we on this straight and narrow path, to the best of our ability. Every now and then, we'll swing back and forth, but as long as we keep our balance on this thing, we'll be all right, man. But next precept we're gonna get is 1 Kings chapter 2, verse 1.
The book of 1 Kings, chapter 2, and verse 1. Now the days of David drew nigh that he should die. And he charged Solomon his son, saying, I go all the way of the earth. Be thou strong therefore, and shew thyself a man.
And do what?
And shew thyself a man.
So we know that David, how we bring it out at the beginning of the class, he was a good king. And now he's charging Solomon his son. Somebody, I go the way of all the earth. Be thou strong therefore, and show thyself a man. Show thyself a leader. Because most of our guy here couldn't just put no dude that don't know how to lead. Because you had even with Saul, he was a good leader until he started doing wickedness. Until he started when they was with us, but then they turned from their way. But go ahead.
And keep the charge of the Lord thy God. To walk in his way, to keep his statutes, and his commandment, in his judgment, in his testimony, as it is written in the law of Moses.
So from the beginning of time to even to this time, David is just passing on everything that he was taught to his son. Then Solomon, he started doing the same thing. But go ahead.
That thou mayest prosper in all that thou doest.
Hey, there go that word prosper again. Hey, a good leader, he gonna prosper. But go ahead.
And whithersoever thou turnest thyself. Verse 4. That the Lord may continue his word which he spake concerning me, saying, if thy children take heed to their way, to walk before me in truth, with all their heart and with all their soul, there shall not fail thee, said he, a man on the throne of Israel.
Hey, what?
A man on the throne of Israel.
Or a leader on the throne of Israel, man. Because Solomon, he just trying to charge Israel. He trying to make more leaders. Because when it's time for him to go, he wants somebody else to come in his stead. What you did, we're gonna touch on that though. But even with him, man, you messed it up, man. We're gonna touch on it. But let's go ahead and get to this long read. It ain't too long, but it's long. Let's get 1 Maccabees chapter 2, verse 49. Y'all be all right, we need it.
The book of 1 Maccabees, chapter 2, and verse 49. Now when the time drew near that Benaniyah should die, he said unto his son, now hath pride and rebuke, guiding strength in the time of destruction, in the wrath of indignation.
So this, this is Mattathias, he finna charge his son, just like how David charged his son Solomon. It's like they always had that same process, man. But go ahead.
Now therefore, my son, be zealous for the law.
Be what?
Be zealous for the law.
That's the first thing he brought out. He said, be zealous of the law, man. Hey, take heed to these laws, statutes, commandments, man. Because hey, that's when you will have good success. That's what makes you a good leader.
We still on First Kings.
1 Kings 2 and 2. Or verse 1 and 2. So go ahead.
And give your lives for the covenant of your fathers.
And do what?
And give your lives for the covenant of your fathers.
Because that's another thing a good leader would do. He'll give his life. Hey, because hey, look at Christ himself. Hey, he gave his life for his people. Hey, just like with us. Hey, we willing to die. Right? Right? Hey, man, but read on.
Call to remembrance what act our fathers did in their time. So shall you receive great honor and an everlasting name.
Hey, because Mattathias, he basically finna run down the history, man. You're like, hey, all of your forefathers did it, so hey, you do it too. I did it, but go ahead.
Was not Abraham found faithful in temptation? And it was imputed unto him for righteousness.
So he's touching on our forefather Abraham, man. Hey, when he had, give up Isaac, and the Most High God he wanted to see, he like, are you really gonna give up your son? Hey, and sure enough, he had a whole lot of faith, man. Because Abraham, he was a leader too. He was like, hey, it's your son, Lord. You made him. Hey, yeah, I'm his earthly father, but hey, you the creator of all things, man. Hey, but read on.
Joseph, in the time of his distress, kept the commandment. It was made Lord of Egypt.
So, hey, even like with the class that Captain Yard here brought out, last Saturday. Hey, his brothers were acting the ass toward him. But hey, in the midst of all that, the Most High God, he still had Joseph so humble to the point where he was like, yeah, I forgive you, Negroes, man. Yeah, I try to do all this stuff too, but hey, I forgive y'all, and I'm still gonna look after for y'all. It's just like with me and with Daoud. That's my brother. Sometimes you get on my damn nerve, but hey, I still love him. I still, do for him if I have to. But go ahead.
Finney, our father, in being zealous and fervent, obtained the covenant of an everlasting priesthood.
Of a what?
Of an everlasting priesthood.
Even with Phoenix, but go ahead.
Jesus, for fulfilling the word, was made a judge in Israel.
So like, this ain't Yahweh shot, this is Joshua. Yeah, he said, hey, for fulfilling the word was made a judge in Israel. Because that's another thing that leaders would do. Hey, we gonna judge. Hey, do it righteously though, not in wickedness. So go ahead.
Caleb, for bearing witness before the congregation, received the heritage of the land. David, for being merciful, possessed the throne of an everlasting kingdom.
Of a what?
Of an everlasting kingdom.
So even with David, like, actual David, like, he had mercy on Saul and he had mercy on his people. But then on the spiritual aspect, we just talk about Christ, man. That's gonna be an everlasting covenant. But go ahead.
Elias, for being zealous and fervent for the law, was taken up into heaven.
Hey, Elijah, he went straight up to heaven, man. Because hey, Most High God, he got certain spirits where he'll keep near and dear to him. He's like, hey, you ain't got to go through all that, man. Just come on up with me. But go ahead.
Ananias, Azarias, and Misael, by believing, were saved out of the flame.
So we know this is Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego when they was in that flame, man. Hey, all of them, they was, even though they didn't have like an actual leader status, like, you know, as far as like being a king or whatnot, you know, we all kings, but you know what I mean. But yeah, they was unique. So, you know, even with that, you know, they still, you know, was leaders, great leaders, man, because they were showing example. They were like, hey, we going through all this, but hey, we still gonna take this thing true. Because they had who they had with them. Read on.
Daniel, for his innocence, innocency was delivered from the mouth of the lion.
So hey, even with that, you know, he was, you know, delivered from the mouth of the lions. Because you know, even with us today, we ain't finna be stepping in no. But now we ain't finna be stepping in no caves with no lion, man. But back then, you know, hey, he didn't have no fear, man, because he knew what type of guy he fought for. But go ahead. Or
Verse
you know,
60.
live for, should I say? But go ahead.
Verse 61. And thus consider ye throughout all ages that none that put their trust in him shall be overcome.
Shall be what?
Shall be overcome.
So, you know, it just gave you just like a brief history. And then you know that all these people, they were great leaders, man. And he said that none of them was overcome. So go ahead.
Fear not then the words of a sinful man.
Read that one more time.
Fear not then the words of a sinful man.
Because that's another thing that our people go through. They go through what I'm looking for, peer pressure. That's why like a lot of people, they tend to become followers and stuff over time. Because they're like, well, man, if you don't do this, I'm gonna punch you in your mouth, or what the case may be. But hey, don't fear that. Fear the Most High God, the one that can kill, you know, body and soul. But go ahead.
For his glory shall be done in words.
Shall be what?
Shall be done in words.
Man, I read this word a couple of times earlier today, man, because, hey, that's tough. You're like, hey, all they words, it's just going to be done in words, man. But read on.
Verse 63. Today he shall be lifted up.
Read that one more time.
Today he shall be lifted up.
So right now, yeah, he got his little famous status or popular status, but read on.
And tomorrow he shall not be
He
found.
shall not what?
He shall not be found.
Hey, you'll be laying dead, stinking somewhere, man. But go ahead.
Because he is returned into the dust.
Into the what?
Into his dust.
Read on.
And his thought is come to nothing.
Hey, so like, you know, the Most High God, he ain't even finna think on this dude no more. He like, hey, he wanted to, you know, rebel against me. Therefore, hey, he gonna be, you know, thoughtless, man. Like he ain't never been made. But go ahead.
And a perfect example is literally Takeout, man.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody in the world love this man. Like, he one of the goodest rappers out there. But look at what he was doing it for. He returned to the dust. People barely remember. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So you gotta choose which side you're gonna be on, man.
Right. We'll go ahead.
Verse 64. Wherefore, ye my son, be valiant and show yourselves men.
So hey, he reiterated himself. He like, hey, be men, man. But go ahead.
In the behalf of the law.
Of the what?
Of the law.
Read on.
For by it shall ye obtain glory. And behold, I know that your brother Simon is a man of counsel.
Like what?
Is a man of counsel.
So, you know, even with mathematics, like, cause I know my father, he always, you know, talk to me. He's like, I know which one of y'all is like, you know, the chill one or the one that's like the most humble. But then I know the ones that, you know, full of SHIT, man. Like, same with mathematics. He like, hey, Simon, he the smart one of the group, man. Y'all take his counsel, man. But go ahead.
He shall be a father unto you. As for Judas Maccabee, she like it.
No, verse 65, the last part again, she like it.
Okay. Verse 65 from the top. And behold, I know this, your brother Simon is a man of counsel. Give ear unto him always. He shall be a father unto you.
Because like even like with his brothers, they did take heed to that, what his father was saying. Because, you know, they knew that he was a wise, you know, the wisest of all of them. But hey, we can't be like, you know, Jerubbaal. You know, let's go ahead and touch on that real quick. We're gonna come right back to that.
First King.
Yeah, First Kings.
No, that's first.
Before we go there, let's get Proverbs 1 and 5. And then we're gonna come to the rock.
book of Proverbs, chapter 1, and verse 5. A wise man will hear. It will increase learning. And a man of understanding shall attain unto wise counsel.
So that's another thing. A great king or a wise king, hey, he gonna take heed to, like, the laws, statutes, and commandments, or like another brother that's trying to give him wise counsel. But go ahead.
To understand a proverb in the interpretation, the words of the wise in their dark sayings.
So like even like with that, our brother Daniel, man. But even with that, like I says, a wise man will hear and increase learning, and a man of understanding shall attain unto wise counsel, not wicked counsel. Because now we can touch that 1 Kings chapter 12, verse 4.
You said it started what?
Started 3.
The book of 1 Kings, chapter 12, and verse 3. That they sent and called him, and Jerubbaal and all the congregation of Israel came and spake unto Rehoboam, saying, Thy father made our yoke grievous.
Right.
Now therefore make thou the grievous service of thy father in his heavy yoke, which he put upon us, lighter, and we will serve thee.
So like, Israel, they telling Jerubbaal, they like, hey, all these heavy fetters and these trials and tribulations that y'all been putting on us, hey man, this stuff is heavy, man. Lighten it up some, man. Hey, we'll still be like, services to you, but hey, you gotta lighten this thing up first, man, before we take any other step. But go ahead.
And he said unto them, Depart yet for 3 days. Then come again to me. And the people departed.
So he like, hey, y'all go ahead, go do what y'all do for 3 days, and then I'll have an answer for y'all, when y'all come back. But go ahead.
Verse 6. And King Rehoboam consulted with the old man that stood before Solomon his father while he yet lived. And he said, How do ye advise that I may answer this people? And they spake unto him, saying, If thou wilt be a servant unto this people this day.
Because that's another thing. A leader will always be a servant unto his people. As Christ, we always revert back to him. Christ was over here washing people's feet, man. So, hey, you think that other leaders and stuff, that we ain't finna be doing that, man? When that time comes. But hey, Jerubbaal, he took counsel of the old man. The elders, the ones that's been around for a while. That was his wise counsel. But go ahead.
It will serve them and answer them and speak good words to them, then they will be thy servants forever.
So, hey, the elders, they let them know, hey, if you lighten they load and you be a good service unto them, you speak to them good, hey, they'll serve you forever, man. But go ahead.
But he forsook the counsel of the old men.
So, Jerubbaal, at first he thought he was gonna do the right thing, but instead, hey, he took why we're gonna touch on it. But he forsook the old man's counsel, man. But go ahead.
Which they had given him, and consulted with the young men that were grown up with him.
So he took counsel from some niggas he grew up with, man. Hey, they probably always doing some type of wickedness and stuff. And then, yeah, he still gonna take, the counsel of them. Brothers they ain't been around or like, was serving Most High God all their life at, that point in time. But instead, he forsook, the old man's counsel. Them, they been leaders and stuff, or like even with their status and so on and so forth, man. But go ahead.
Which stood before him, and he said unto them, What counsel give ye that I may answer this people who have spoken to me, saying, Make the yoke which thy father did put upon us lighter. And the young man that were grown up with him spake unto him, saying, Thus shalt thou speak unto this people that spake unto thee, saying, Thy father made our yoke heavy, but make thou it lighter unto us. Thus shall I say unto them, My little finger shall be thicker than my father's loins. And now, whereas my father did lay you with a heavy yoke, I will add to your yoke.
He would do what?
I will add to your yoke.
So hey, these brothers, they over here telling, hey, you tell this to them people, man. Hey, our father, they made their yoke heavy. Hey, add on to it, man. But go ahead.
My father had chastised you with whips, but I will chastise you with
Man,
scorpions.
that's wicked as hell, man. They already getting beat with whips. Now y'all finna chastise them with scorpions, man. They could possibly be poisonous, man. Some of them could have like a allergic reaction and die. But go ahead.
So Jerubbaal and all the people that came to Rehoboam the third day, as the king had appointed, saying, "Come to me again the third day."
Read on.
And the king answered the people roughly and forsook the old man's counsel that they gave him, and spake to them after the counsel of the young men.
So notice how like whenever they first talked to him, hey, he was home. He was like, hey man, come back to me in 3 days and I'll have your answer. Now he over here acting all hard, man, talking to them like aggressively and stuff. All because he took that unwise counsel. But go ahead.
Saying, my father made your yoke heavy, and I will add to your yoke. My father also chastised you with whips, but I will chastise you with scorpions. Wherefore the king hearkened not unto the people. For this cause was from the Lord, that he might perform his saying, which the Lord spake by Ahijah the Shilonite unto Jeroboam the son of Nebat.
So he said, wherefore the king hearkened not unto the people. So hey, he didn't hearken to the elders, neither did he hearken unto the ones that were serving him, man. Hey, he didn't take heed, because again, a good leader, he'll take wise counsel and he'll hear the matter. But go ahead.
Verse 16. So when all Israel saw that the king hearkened not unto them, the people answered the king, saying, what portion have we in David? Neither have we inheritance in the son of Jesse. To your tents,
right,
O Israel. Now see to thine own house, David. So Israel departed unto their tents.
So all because of this was the beginning of like the spirit of the kingdom, man. So hey, unwise counsel can mess some stuff up, man. But let's go ahead and go back to their before we go there, let's go to Proverbs 29 and 12.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 29 and verse 12. If a ruler hearken to lies, all his servants are wicked.
All his what?
All his servants are wicked.
So hey, even with that unwise counsel, it said, hey, if a ruler hearkening to lies, all his servants are wicked, man, because it's a trickle down effect. So you might think that your actions don't have any weight behind them, hey, but you really don't see like the bigger picture, man. It can mess up a whole lot of things, man. That's what Jerubbaal did. Hey, because he didn't take that wise counsel, and he did, took the unwise counsel. Now he got the spirit of the kingdom, and now that's why we really in this predicament that we in today. With us vexing each other and all types of stuff. But it's all for like a reason, man, because everything was predestinated. But now let's go back to the first Maccabees chapter. We can go back to 65.
The book of First Maccabees, chapter 2 and verse 65. And behold, I know that your brother Simon is a man of counsel. Give ear unto him always. He shall be a father unto you. As for Judas Maccabees, he had been a mighty and strong.
So matter of fact, he knew what his the muscle of the operation was. Like Judas Maccabees, hey, he gonna be dealing with the war and stuff. But as far as like the tactics and stuff that y'all need to do, hey, go to Simon. But go ahead.
Even from his youth up, let him be your captain and fight the battle of the people. Take also unto you all those that observe the law.
That do what?
That observe the law.
So, hey, why you think he said that? He like, hey, take them that's going to observe the law. Because if they ain't trying to observe the law, you shouldn't take them, man. Because they'll be the ones that mess some stuff up, man. But go ahead.
And avenge ye the wrong of your people.
Mm-hmm.
Recompense fully the heathen. And take heed to the commandments of the law.
So he just keep on bringing back to the same thing. You're like, hey, I want you to kill these people. I want y'all to, take care of them. But hey, also meditate on these laws and commandments, man. But go ahead.
Verse 69. So he blessed them.
So he what?
So he blessed them.
You don't.
And was gathered to his fathers.
Uh-huh.
And he died in the 146th year.
Mm-hmm.
And his sons buried him in the sculptures of his fathers at Modin.
Uh-huh.
And all Israel made great lamentation for him.
For what?
Made great lamentation for him.
Because matter of fact, he was really like a great leader. So it's like roughly paraphrase. Y'all know what he's talking about. Like when a great man died, hey, they all gonna be crying for a couple of days and stuff, man. So next precept we're gonna get is Matthew 25 and 23.
Let me get the precept real quick. Isaiah 5, and I'll start at verse 13. But we were just reading about some real mighty men in the scriptures, man. Thing they were devoted their life to the Most High God, that did everything pleasing in His sight, being leaders all in their time. One thing they always is, they always reverence back to one to another. Like you had David always saying, the God of our forefathers. Guess what? You had all of these people, Caleb, Joshua, listen to what Moses, his forefather, told him these things, man. And so on and so forth. But watch this, read.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 5 and verse 13. Therefore, my people are gone into captivity.
Now, that's going to tell you why that we're in the position that we're in right now to this day, right? Read.
Because they have no knowledge.
One, because we don't have no knowledge, right? Two, go ahead.
And their honorable men are famous.
Guess what it says? And their honorable men are famous. Guess what? Before the Israelites came back on the block, we didn't have any Judas Maccabees. We didn't have any Abraham, Joseph, Phineas, Joshua, Caleb, David. We didn't have nobody like that, man. We didn't have brothers that was willing to stand up and do the fight for the Lord, that was willing to do the work, put in brick by brick, piece by piece. Guess what? That's why I was in the position that we were in. Even when Christ was here, we are one of the greatest leaders here. As soon as he left, guess what? We always go back and do more wickedly than what we ever did, right? It said that's why, therefore, my people are gone into captivity because they have no knowledge. Guess what? They didn't have no knowledge of our forefathers. They didn't have no knowledge of the Most High God, nor His laws, statutes, commandments. It says, then guess what? All our honorable men are famous, right? And read.
And their multitude dried up with thirst.
Guess what? Dried up with thirst because they didn't have the word. They didn't have the understanding of the Bible. They didn't have anything. So guess what? Now we just some dried up, thirsty, money hungry, lustful people now. Guess what? Dry spirits, dry places now. Why? Because we didn't have the knowledge that we needed. But guess what? Now you see the brothers back on the rise. Now you see people standing up for the Lord again. Now you see all of these brothers and sisters doing the things that's pleasing to the Most High God's sight. And you can see how the Lord is making all our ways prosper. Like even how I was reading Joshua 1 and 8. That's what it comes to being a leader, not a follower, right? Not to follow the world, but guess what? To be a leader of showing the world what it is to do right. Of our own people, of course, right? But that's it. All right, go ahead.
Let's go ahead and get another precept on there. Let's get Psalms 94 and 16.
Wow.
Matter of fact, you can jump over to verse 12.
The book of Psalms, chapter 94 and verse 12. Blessed is the man whom thou chastenest, O Lord, and teaches him out of thy law.
Out of thy what?
Out of thy law.
Because like even with a great leader, hey, he gonna go through some things, man. Because I always look at Job, man. Job was he was a damn good leader, man. You know, he tried to, lead his family to the best of his ability. But then, hey, at the end all be all, he was like, hey, I mean, I tried, but I'm gonna keep on doing the best, the best that I can. And then, the Most High God, he blessed him in the end, man. He gave him double fold of what he had one want to say it. But read on.
Verse 13.
Jump down to verse 16.
Verse 16. Who will rise up for me against the evildoers?
So hey, this is like you also gonna have like a leader mindset. Even with this question, it says, "Who will rise up for me against the evildoers?" Who's gonna rise up for like all this wicked stuff that's going on, man? Hey, all these brothers and sisters that think that homosexuality is okay, or thinking that hey, you can hate your brother or your sister, man, or that hey, you can just do anything. That you got free will and all these things, man. Who gonna rise up for this stuff? It's not only with our people, but as far as these heathen, man, who gonna stop these heathen from teaching, our people all these wicked things, man? But go ahead.
Or who will stand up for me against the workers of iniquity?
Read on.
Unless the Lord had been my help, my soul had almost dwelt inside.
So hey, this is David. He's like, hey, unless the Lord had been my help, my soul almost dwelt inside us, man. Because hey, there was one time where I went out, but hey, when the Most High God, he had his hand in it. And you like, hey, can't let it stop you now. But go ahead.
When I said, my foot slipped,
My what?
my foot slipped,
Uh-huh.
thy mercy, O Lord, held me up.
It did what?
Thy mercy, O Lord, held me up.
So like, even with a leader, like you just look at our look at the statuses and like not status, but like look at the things that they have to do. Because like even when captains is up here and they got to do all like the counseling and bringing out the judgments and stuff. I know that stuff ain't no easy job, man. I know they get headaches. I know they get phone calls, man. Hey, and we gotta like really prepare ourselves for that, man. Or even like as small as like going back to like just being at a soldier, man. Hey, because the leadership they'll look at you and they'll be like, hey, you next up in line. And so you get responsibility. Yeah, I get headaches, man, but I still love Bruce, man. We still gonna get on them, thus saith the Lord, though, man. But go ahead.
Verse 19. In the multitude of thy thoughts, in the multitude of my thoughts within me, thy comforts delight my soul.
What?
Thy comforts delight my soul.
Because hey, this word is always gonna give you some type of comfort, man. It's like once you start reading, hey, you calm down. I'm talking about you can be pissed to the max. But hey, once you start reading and you start, getting a good understanding and start precepting and stuff, hey, you forget what you mad about sometimes, man. But go ahead.
Shall the throne of iniquity have fellowship with thee? Which frameth mischief by a law.
By the what?
By a law.
Read on.
They gather themselves together against the souls of the righteous and condemn the innocent blood.
So like all these people that like, doing all this following and doing all this evil, hey, are they gonna be, hand in hand with the righteous? No. But go ahead.
But the Lord is my defense.
But the what?
But the Lord is my defense. And my God is the rock of my refuge.
Of my what?
Of my refuge.
Read on.
And he shall bring upon them their own iniquity. And shall cut them off in their own wickedness. Yet the Lord our God shall cut them off.
So hey, more of the story, hey, leaders, they ain't really gonna have to worry about too much as long as they, doing what the Most High God is, requiring of them. But unless I got anything here, last precept, Matthew 25 and 23.
The book of Matthew, chapter 25 and verse 23. His Lord said unto him, well done, good and faithful servant. Thou hast been faithful over a few things. I will make thee ruler over many things.
Over what?
Over many things.
Read on.
Enter thou into the joy of thy enter thou into the joy of thy Lord.
So we know in this day and age, we ain't got much as a nation of people, man. But hey, we just keep on doing what we supposed to do. Hey, once we get into that kingdom, Lord's will, hey, he gonna make us a rule over everything, man. We're gonna have with the mansions and have the slaves and all that stuff, man. But hey, first it starts right now, man. Hey, be a leader right now, so you ain't gotta worry about trying to hurry up and get yourself together once Christ comes back. Because when Christ comes back, he already gonna have it. He been had that leader status since he walked this earth the first time, man. But like even with the regeneration and all that, we'll touch on that another time. But hey, when he come back, hey, Christ ain't finna be playing, man. You know, you're gonna have 144,000 in order. You're gonna have his people in order. If you don't want to get down, then you're gonna lay down, man. Because he always gonna be that best example of a leader, man. But
My bad, I just thought about it. Let's get one precept, man. So like Proverbs 13, we'll start at 20. That would be perfect. I pulled it right before that.
13 to who?
20. My bad. When you get there, go ahead.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 13 and verse 20.
Go ahead.
He that walketh with wise men shall be wise.
Guess what it said? He that walketh with wise men shall be wise, right? Like how we read in Exodus 23 and 2. Don't follow multitude to do evil. But guess what? It's good to follow multitude to do good, right? That's why certain brothers and sisters join camps, get around more like-minded brothers and sisters. Why? So we can all be wise with one another. We all know what we're doing. We all know the doctrine that we stand on. We all know that we serve the Lord, right? Read.
But a companion of fools shall be destroyed.
But a companion of fools shall be destroyed. Guess what? Everybody that's going around that way, they may have separated themselves through the thick and thin. They may have went other way, getting tossed to and fro with everyone's doctrine. Guess what? Now you like brothers and sisters, you'll join a whole different camp, a whole different thing, and just debate and argue. Be in the comment section going hard. Guess what? Everything what anybody else says is a lie. You don't believe in the Bible no more. Now I'm gonna just go hard and go off, right? Guess what? But he that walk with wise men shall be wise, but a companion of fools shall be destroyed, right? Read.
Verse 21. Evil pursueth sinners.
Because guess what, man? It's an evil thing coming to everybody who go against God, no matter how you look at it, man. Guess what? Whether you think you're doing right by the Most High God, if you're not keeping the law, statutes, commandments, guess what? Evil is pursuing you. It's gonna get you. Guess what? Like even how I brought out in this class last week, it's like a ring. It's gonna get to you. It don't matter when. It's gonna get to you, right? Read.
But to the righteous,
Guess what?
good,
To the righteous, right? Read.
good shall be repaid.
Guess what? And that's what he was talking about in Matthew 25 when he said, "Well done, my faithful servant." Guess what? When you're doing the right thing for the Lord, He's gonna recompense good things to you. When you're doing evil to the Lord, guess what? He said, evil is gonna pursue you. Guess what? If that don't sound like the curses, I don't know what it is, man. I mean, that's it. All right, go ahead.
I know I was showing me Papa Legbo Jr. What you talking about, man? Because last time I checked, man, the Israelites ain't never been confounded, bro. So don't be bearing false witness.
Man, I'm telling you, look, and I looked up this stuff. I was looking at it. I gotta give it a little time. So listen, Papa Legba is like a Haitian god, Haitian Buddha. So if we're talking about the Haitians, yeah, they are people. And guess what? They went out just by doing the same thing you're doing. And you proving the point of you being a follower, not a leader. Because where did you even hear this stuff from?
What is it? You say it's a Haitian guy?
A Haitian god.
You already going out, man. We serve the Most High God.
You are following other guys, man.
Hey, the father Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and the Israelites, man. Yeah, you're Israelites, so man, hey, we had it. We'll tell you to repent, man, or you gonna die too, man.
And that's the thing, man. The thing about it was, we follow, instead of following the Most High God, we follow something vain. Idols. Like, let me get the book of Habakkuk real quick. Just read it quick. Habakkuk chapter 2, here in verse 18. This is what we always messed up at. The thing about it was, the Most High God literally told us not to go follow after the other nations. Even in the book of Exodus chapter 20, chapter 20 and verse 2, it say what? Thou shalt have no other gods before me. So we made these things our God. Can I get somebody to read Habakkuk chapter 2 and verse 18 real quick?
It's the book of Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 18.
Mm-hmm.
What profit the graven image, that the maker thereof had graven it, the molten image, and a teacher of lies.
And a teacher of lies. The graven image. It says that the maker thereof had graven. Something that you made with your own hand is now your God. What type of sense do that make? You make something, but this is your God, which you made. That don't make sense at all. Read on.
That the maker of his work trusted therein.
And you trust in this thing that you made. Read on.
To make dumb idols.
To make dumb idols. Read on. Because I ain't gonna look, just listen to what the scripture say. The scripture is literally telling you it's plain upon table. Read on.
Woe unto him that said to the wood, awake.
It's going into that wood is going into the Christianity cross because we love to walk around with that thing on our neck. Read.
To the dumb stone, arise. It shall teach.
Man, you talk about a stone that's gonna teach, man. This stone been here for years, is teaching me. Man, the words of the Most High God is what teaches you, brother and sisters.
We got about like 1,000 lips on that mud, man, kissing that mud, man. But it still ain't gonna do nothing. Even with like with a Christmas tree, y'all were putting presents and all this stuff under it, man. But I'm like, it's not gonna move. It can't do either good nor evil, and so on and so forth. Man, that mud can't even move on its own.
But think about it like this: that stone going into, the people that use the voodoo and all that type of stuff. That's what those stones, the stones that they talking about, the voodoo stone, not even the cobblestones. The cobblestone, the stone that people just worship and stuff like that. Read the rest of that.
Behold, it is laid over with gold and silver.
You can't tell me we don't walk around with gold necklaces on with that cross, with this white Jesus on there. You know what I'm saying? And we trust in that thing. That's not even your doggone savior. The savior was the black Messiah. But you sit up here with a white Jesus on that got white Jesus done tatted on you with some hands like you finna be saved. Come on, man. But at the same time, God rejected us because we rejected knowledge, like I was saying earlier. Read the rest of that.
And there is no breath at all in the midst of it.
If you believe in something that you made with your own hands and they ain't got no breath in it, I'm through with that.
I'm afraid because even with this brother right here, like he got voodoo all on his page and stuff, man. Let's go ahead and get numbers 23 and 23, man. Just in case you do try to so-called put voodoo on us, man.
23 and 23. The book of Numbers, chapter 23 and verse 23. Surely there is no enchantment against Jacob.
Hey, with that, I say shalom, man. Because you can't do nothing to us, man. If we serve the Most High God, just like at Jude 5 and 20 say, there's nothing you really could do to us, man. But go ahead.
Neither is there any divination against Israel. According to this time, it shall be said of Jacob and of Israel.
Right.
What had God wrought?
What had God what?
What had God wrought?
Man.
That's tough, boy. Because think about it. Like, if you are an Israelite brother or sister, guess what? Saul tried to do it too. He tried to go to the enchanters. He tried to go get some voodoo conjure up to see what he could do next. Guess what? And they were scared. They said, why would you send us here? No, we gonna die. Guess what? I can't do nothing. Guess what? If you read on Balak and Balaam, that's a great story. Balaam, the Lord literally put it on Balaam's spirit to praise the Israelites. And Balak got scared, got mad and slapped him for it. But what you mad at him for? Guess what? The Lord will turn anybody however they want. Because guess what? The reason that people believe them things too, because guess what? Y'all might be vessels fitted for destruction. Y'all might not meant to get this truth. And the brothers and sisters that is in the truth, y'all got an opportunity to be leaders. And don't be a follower of some of these things y'all say. Come on now. This is literally prophecy. These are they who separate themselves. Sensual, not having the spirit. Guess what? Last days, scoffers, we're going to have these things, man. That's why I was saying, man, we got to be leaders, man. We can't keep being followers. Being followers put us in captivity, man. Go ahead.
Hey, there ain't nothing else. Yeah, I say shalom. I'll pray for all the brothers and sisters that tuned in. I hope the class was edifying. I know kind of sped through. I was expecting them to be a little long, but I know it was for the sake of time, But hey, nevertheless, I hope y'all got some type of good understanding on like trying to change that mentality that we have from being followers to like being leaders, man. Because you had some brothers that was and sisters that was leaders even when that was in the world, but it was in wicked stuff. But now we got to come, into righteousness with this thing, man. I know we always talking about like the GoFundMe's and the Cash Apps and stuff, it's being greatly used, for the building of the kingdom. Hey, it ain't for no private jet and Cadillacs and all that stuff. You ain't finna see us in no helicopters, man. Hey, PD. Yeah,
Catching on them parties.
Right, you ain't finna see us at TDJ's church. Something like swallowed up and all that, man.
I say
Dude, but no, man, we always gotta brothers and sisters, y'all start getting on too, man. I know we always we don't really just bring it out to the forefront as much as we should, or like on camera, should I say? But hey, y'all start really doing that, man, because y'all gotta think about it. Everything that we do, we doing it for the Most High God. We ain't doing it just just for our own vain help. Hey, $5, $10, hey, that'll come a long way, man. Hey, we know how to make that money stretch, man. We know how to make food stretch and all that, man. So I just take heed to that. But at the end of every class, we always bring out a law, because we're the lawgivers. So just keep on, edifying through the law. Today's law will be 18. Exodus 18 and 25. Let me see.
It's 18. You want to start at verse 24?
Yeah, you start.
The book of Exodus, chapter 18, and verse 24.
Uh-huh.
So Moses hearkened to the voice of his father-in-law, and did all that he said.
Right.
And Moses chose able men out of all Israel.
He chose leaders of Israel. Go ahead.
And made them heads over the ruler of the people. It made them heads over the people.
Uh-huh.
Rulers of thousands.
So yeah, leaders over thousands. Go ahead.
Rulers of hundreds.
Yeah, leaders of hundreds.
Rulers of 50s.
Yeah, rulers of 50s.
And rulers of 10.
Yeah, rulers of 10s. But go ahead.
And they judged the people.
And they did what?
And they judged the people.
Because that's a commandment. We are commanded to judge our people, man. That's why Isaiah 50:81 say what he say. Or like Proverbs 31 and 9 say, man. Hey, overnight melt judge righteously, man. Hey, that's a commandment. But go ahead.
At all seasons.
At what season?
At all seasons.
So hey, whether it be winter, summer, spring, fall. I know I said no matter what, but y'all know what I mean. Damn, but go ahead.
The hard causes they brought unto Moses.
Uh-huh.
But every small matter, they judged themselves.
They did what?
They judged themselves.
Because like even with that was a hierarchy. Hey, the stronger matters they brought to Moses, man. But like the little small matters, like correcting the brother on if he do something, or like something small is like if he have his hat on when scriptures are coming out, those are smaller matters, man. But nevertheless, they still, were showing leadership roles. But go ahead.
And Moses let his father-in-law depart,
Uh-huh.
and he went his way into his own land.
Yeah, I say so.